And welcome to the first ever episode of the Wisconsin Ice Tigers expansion franchise. So, I decided to do an expansion franchise. Thought it would be fun. And you know what? I was like, I do not know where to put this team. And I was like, what is a state that is a love of hockey but just doesn't have an NHL team? I was like, well, Wisconsin, they're huge. The Badgers are huge up there in Wisconsin, huge hockey. So I thought, why don't we give Wisconsin their own NHL team? And we got the Ice Tigers here you're looking at. We got the Ice Jungle they're going to be playing in, the Wisconsin Ice Tigers. Should be very fun. Now, I didn't specify what city they're in, but Wisconsin, we're playing in Milwaukee. It's the most populated city, so we're the Wisconsin Ice Tigers playing in Milwaukee. You know, it's kind of like a Arizona Coyotes playing in Glendale type of thing. But yeah, we're going to be the Wisconsin Ice Tigers, and it should be interesting. I don't know how it's going to do. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to see. So I'm just going to give you an overview of everything, the logos and everything. I spent a lot of time getting this perfect for everybody, and I think the logos look really good. I'm really happy with the logos. Our arena, I think, looks really nice. The blue. The uniforms y'all are going to love. The home uniform, beautiful. It's more of a whiteout look. Then we got the blackout, the whiteout and blackout look. Then our alternate, we got to change it up with the alternate logo with the paw, which I think looks especially good. I think that looks super freaking clean right there. So the uniforms look really good. So now I'm going to go get this imported into the actual franchise mode, and we will start up the expansion draft. So I will see y'all there. All right, Wisconsin, here we are. Now, we are in the menu, about to start a franchise. Now, this is just tips for franchise when you're starting a franchise. Turn off owner mode, garbage, don't need that on. Player morale, garbage, don't need that on. Fog of war, garbage, don't need that on. You can't see player ratings. The only things you need to have on to basically make this a true GM mode, you want to add a contract here, make sure you do that. It's very important that you have that turned on, because if you have that turned on, you're essentially adding a year to the future. So basically, you're basically doing it as the Seattle draft next year, but still in 2020. So you're basically Lafreniere. All the current rookies are already on the rosters. So you want to have that selected. So yeah, we're going to get through that. I'm going to get to the beginning of the owner mode, and we will start this thing. I just wanted to let y'all know all those settings, so we have all that cleared up and turned on. All right, so here we are now in the expansion franchise, and now we are finally going to get to see which draft pick we end up with, and we indeed move up to the number 2 overall pick in this draft. But Columbus or Carolina, that's crazy. They jump up to number 14. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, I am doing this post commentary because of my audio got corrupted, so you have to voice over this, but should only be for this video. But now we're going to hop into the expansion draft. I'm going to choose the players, I'm going to cut, and we're going to come back to y'all, and I'm going to talk about the players that I chose, and we're going to go over the decision making behind that process. All right, so we're going to take a look at the expansion draft picks here. Now, I went through and I chose players, a lot of it based off of, the first couple of years I'm not saying I want to. Okay, maybe I do want to tank to get some good prospects, but I really went for potential here. As you can see, I went with Gurionov, and I'm choosing a lot of players that have good potential and good contracts. Now, I did choose a few players that are older and have some really bad contracts, but the reason that is they can be definitely traded. Now, Sorelli was one of the best players, and Demko also. Demko is really big potential as an elite goalie. I don't know why they give him up in this mode. But we got Gurionov, we got Jake Bean, Jesper Bratt, who's pretty good, Ethan Bear. Now, when we get to the draft here, we're looking at our number 1 overall pick. Now, I want Colton Wheel, obviously, but it looks like we're gonna get Pettinger because he's supposed to get number 2. But for some reason in this draft, Carolina decides, no, we're not gonna take the franchise player. We're gonna take the league guy, which is probably because Carolina has too many defensemen. So that means the Colton Wheel kid, franchise defenseman, falls right into our hands. And as much as I want a forward, I can't pass on a premium talent. Look at all those ratings. That's freaking amazing. Heavy slap shot, shutdown ability, great puck mover. He's PK Subban. He's NHL ready. He's shoot pinch chemistry, which is one of my favorite chemistries for D. And it's just like, it's perfect. We have to take him. So he fits everything. We take him, and he ends up being a franchise defenseman, baby. That is a guy you want to anchor your blue line around for a decade. He is your franchise centerpiece now. He is our franchise, and man, he's with that franchise potential. He's going to grow fast. He's got a killer shot. He's just looking freaking amazing, and he is going to just absolutely lock down, play shutdown defense. He's going to have a killer hard slap shot. He's going to just lock down the other team. He's going to be like a perfect player for us. Now, if we can just find him a defensive partner that can be absolutely a stud next to him, that is what we need. And hopefully his ratings will grow, but having that franchise potential, I mean, he could jump from a 77 to like an 89 or 90 in just 3 or 4 seasons. So by year 2 or 3 or 4 of this franchise, Colton Wheel's going to be looking really good. Now, Pettinger was also pretty good. He was a 76 elite playmaker, so that's not bad. Now, unfortunately, I didn't hit on any other draft picks in this draft, so that was really the only one we got kind of lucky. We got lucky. So now, if we're just going to quickly breeze through this offseason, nothing really important happens. We're going to lock in Cirelli on an amazing contract because Cirelli's probably going to grow, and he's just going to be that perfect two-way forward that can check for us, be that guy on the penalty kill, that can do everything we need. We're going to lock in Ethan Bear as a young guy. We're just going to lock him in. He might grow, he might not. It just depends. We lock in him. Jesper Bratt's also a guy that can play in the top 6 in the future. Still very young. Has great potential to pair him, especially if we find a guy with the right chemistry to get those +5s or +3s. And that's really what we're trying to get for here. We want to get these young guys to develop eventually. But the big thing is we have to find a coach that can get these guys the maximum chemistry. Now, Shillington's another offensive defenseman that you want to pair with a defensive defenseman, but we have to find the right chemistries. Now, a lot of these guys might not end up working, so a lot of these guys we might not keep. Year 1 is kind of wash, essentially. Now, the team is not bad. We still have good players. Their chemistry is not a fit. We might have the right coach. So it might take us a year or 2 to find the right coaches, and especially find the players with the right chemistry. That's why next year getting a very good draft pick is very important. But we get Shillington, we get all these guys locked up. So that's very important for year number 1. Having these young guys, because it's not about winning year 1. It's about letting these guys develop, letting these guys grow. And yeah, so Matthias Ekholm is definitely another trade piece we can use. He's good. You got Verana, who's pretty good also. Top 6 forward at 24. He can be a stud for the top 6. But yeah, we've built this team. We have some young talent that really needs to develop. Our AHL squad is looking pretty damn good. We've got some good prospects in there. Cirelli is going to be a perfect checking line, two-way forward, penalty kill guy. He's going to do the dirty work. We have some vets. We have some young players. But once again, here we're not expecting a lot year 1 rather than Playev. Guryanov, he's going to be the franchise too. Eventually, he's going to be that sniper on the power play, playing that OV spot, getting those one-timers. And yeah, I'm excited for this. I have a lot of faith in this franchise and what it's going to be. And I know I'm doing more of a voiceover here. It's just because I lost my audio. So I'm kind of just doing more of a summarization of this first episode. But we will get back to live commentary later in this video. So, yeah. It's just going to be fun. I don't know why I said live commentary video. That's not happening. But next video should be a full live com. I don't think I lost the audio for that. But yeah, looking through these free agents now. We're gonna get to free agency and see what we can add. Now in free agency, I wanted to add. I mean, obviously there's Barzal, there's all these guys, but we can't really add something amazing. So I thought we should go after guys that are older but have good trade valuability. Because if we can get these guys if we can sign a couple really good overall players on 1-year deals, then flip them at the deadline, that would be more than a deal. So we're looking at Zdeno Chara here. Could be a guy we could potentially go after. He's 1 year at 4.75. And Dustin Byfuglien's also. And that's who I'm looking at here. Dustin Byfuglien only wants 1 year at around $5 million. So now if we can get him, we can use him as trade bait at the deadline to potentially flip for more first-round picks, which is obviously what we want to do. So that's a guy that could definitely be used as trade bait. Now we're also looking at Chara. Chara, he's a great player in this game, stayed for a long time, but also Vatanen. There's a lot of good guys here that are older that we could potentially use as trade bait, but also have some veteran leadership early on in the franchise to help for potential player development. Now, Verana was our best player last year. As we're gonna advance the days here, I always forget to turn off the trade settings, so I always give these pop-ups, unfortunately. So hopefully Byfuglien ends up signing with us. Toronto's offering us a trade. We gotta decline that. And Byfuglien does sign with us. So now we have a very valuable trading asset year 1 to flip potentially early on, or we can wait to the deadline. Now there's still some other players we want to look for. And I'm looking at Hassel Hoffman. That's who I'm eyeing on. A forward who's a little bit older, still has a very good overall, but can still be used in crucial situations, especially as a trade asset or to develop young talent. Now, Hoffman in this game is a pretty good player. He's a little bit past the prime. He doesn't want a lot of money. He doesn't always produce at an 85 for $8 million. It's kind of a scam. But if we can get him on a 1-year contract to overpay, we can use him as trade bait, and we can always send him to a contending team with a trade deadline and flip for assets. It's all about asset management year one. We want to be getting those older players so we can trade them for draft picks to eventually build out the farm system. That's how I want to build this team. I want to get assets. I want to asset management, manage the cap. We want to get as least cap space as possible because the next couple of years there's going to be some really massive free agents. So if we can free up $40 or $35 million of cap space, we can just throw out overpay for these amazing players. And in this video game, if you just pay players overpay even a little bit, they just sign with you. That's borderline what it is. So freeing up cap space, developing young talent, and getting trading assets is definitely the 3 goals I wanted to start with this franchise. And as Hasselhoffman signs the contract with us, so now we have 2 primary trading assets in Hasselhoffman and Dustin Byfuglien. So it's a very good start to our franchises, and that's very good. So yeah, thank you all for watching episode 1. Hope you all enjoyed it. I will be back with episode number 2 pretty soon. And let me know in the comments, would you like to see me do a Be a Pro as well? I like Be a Pro. It could be fun. Let me know in the comments. Hope you all enjoy. Give me any tips if you want me to have anything help out. If you want any suggestions for me to do. And as always, boys, I'll be back with episode 2 shortly. Peace.